The best is if they cast Flame Blessed Bolt here. Flame Blessed Bolt. Flame Blessed Bolt. Come on, you know you want to. Flame Blessed Bolt. I am the best.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Boom!
We've got the edge in this fight.
That was a killer. Hello, friends! Today we're going to talk about the most interesting deck that there is in Standard. Har, har, har. It actually is pretty interesting. So everybody who follows Standard at all knows about Grixis. It is considered by some the boogeyman of Standard. One of the most popular decks. Earlier version of this deck won the World Championship. I think ever since somebody had the idea of pairing Fable the Mirror Breaker and Sheoldred and Corpse Appraiser together, this deck has just had a really powerful foothold in Standard. But I am going to make a Grixis video today for two reasons, and one of them is I'm going to do a best of 3 video. Binary Soloist MTG put in my comments that I should try best of 3 events. In my opinion, the return on best of 3 events is atrocious. Right, so you need to win 4 out of the 5 rounds in order to make your entrance fee back, which from some dimension is like an 80% win rate, right? So it's probably not technically true because you can like go 2-1 a bunch and it's dramatically less than an 80% win rate depending on how it goes. But it feels bad, and like you don't even get that many more packs, right? I think like if you get like 2 packs for 3 wins, and that's kind of a lot of wins. Anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway, and part of it is I really like the sideboard of this Grixis deck, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to make a video about Grixis. So what's different about this deck? Everybody knows about Grixis, like we said before, but there's a new card that I put in my main deck, which is Hidetsugu and Kairi. So if you looked at my Vorinclex video the other day, people were playing this crazy 10 casting cost red spell that deals 10. And like if you put that on top of your library and then Hidetsugu and Kairi dies, then you brain them for 10 with its triggered ability, then cast it and do another 10, which is difficult to avoid. I'm like, is that good? Is that a good thing to do? Well, what is a really good thing to do is just to play Hidetsugu and Kairi, right? So I came to the conclusion recently that Invoke Despair is just not very good in Standard anymore. And I used to be like a 4x Invoke Despair guy, right? Like 4x Invoke Despair in Mono Black, 4x Invoke Despair in Rakdos, 4x Invoke Despair in... I mean, I don't play a lot of Grixis, but if I played Grixis, I typically played 4x Invoke Despair. But it's just not that good. And there's a couple reasons why. Playing against mono red, it's like 5 mana kill their Phoenix chick, and then you die the next turn. Like a lot of the time, right? Obviously, sometimes you get a dramatic advantage. You know, Invoke Despair has its reputation for a reason, but it doesn't seem that good to me right now at all, right? So I cut them all, and instead I'm playing 2 Hidetsugu and Kairi and 2 Grixis Command. And the thing about Hidetsugu and Kairi is it's an amazing follow-up to Sheoldred. So if the combo in this deck is not Hidetsugu and Kairi and then brain you for 20, it's just Sheoldred on 4, Hidetsugu and Kairi on 5. And what that does is you draw 3 cards immediately and then just gain 6 life with Sheoldred, and good luck beating somebody who has these 2 sweet legends in play and who just gain 6 life. That's the combo. And that's the whole thing. The rest of the deck is pretty straightforward in the main deck, except for I'll give you some caveats. I'm playing 4 Cut Down. Cut Down sucks. It's only really good against the decks that I like, right? So it's really good against mono red. It's really bad against white control, right? Like you're cutting down, I don't know, Spirited Companion and Ambitious Farmhand. It's just so bad. Like sometimes you just like cut down a token from Wedding Announcement because you have nothing better to do. It's just better to not have it in your deck. But I think that like mono red is substantial enough of a presence in the metagame that you have to play a bunch of cut down, because mono red is among the most challenging matchups for Grixis. Also, cut down is good against Soldiers, a deck which I don't like, but it's good against them because for 2 mana you can kill Thalia, and that's an important thing to do. The rest of this deck is like the variation in Grixis decks is not high, other than like in this section, instead of 4 Invoke Despairs or 3 Invoke Despairs and a Grixis command, I have 2 Grixis command and Hidetsugu and Kairi. The reasons for this are a couple. This build, in the main deck at least, is heavily influenced by Andrew Cuneo's recent Grixis deck, and also I took a lot from Matt Sperling's deck from the regional championship. So variations are not really substantial, as I said. Are people playing like 2 Reckoner Bankbuster? Are they playing 4 Reckoner Bankbuster? Do you have 2 Make Disappear and 2 Abrade, or 3 and 1? Right? There's not a lot of variation, but the Hidetsugu and Kairi and Gix command combo, I was heavily influenced specifically by Andrew, and some of my sideboard choices are influenced by Matt Sperling's deck from the regional championship. I really, really like the sideboard, which is the reason why I'm doing a best of 3 event today. So I do have 1 Invoke Despair in the sideboard in the off chance that it's good. I think like if you're playing the Grixis Mirror, it's probably okay. It's great against Rakdos. So if you're playing like Rakdos Mirror, I would definitely want Invoke Despair. It's like okay against Grixis. Like they're just gonna counter it probably. It's like it's so bad against white decks, right? Like you cast Invoke Despair and they just like sacrifice an ossification that was covering your Fable token. So when it goes to the graveyard, you don't even get a creature back, and then they just rebuy it with Serra Paragon, and then like they sacrifice a Spirited Companion, or an Ambitious Farmhand that they also are planning to rebuy with Serra Paragon, and then like maybe they take 2 or something. And the problem is now there's like that insane like W to counter all the black and red everything. All your guys don't take damage from black and red this turn. Like this card is so bad in standard, and it's crazy because it used to be so unbeatable, but now it's not good. But I do have 1 on the off chance that it could be good. I think Bladecoil Serpent, if you want just like a big high impact expensive spell, is much better. I find myself casting Bladecoil Serpent for the black mana much more often than the blue mana these days. So I used to cast it for the blue mana a lot, but now it's black mana. Speaking of blue mana, I reworked the mana base, which is one of the things that I did in this deck. So Hidetsugu and Kairi has 2 blue in the casting cost versus used to be very, very strict about the lands that you played in Grixis, or Rakdos for that matter, because of the quad black and Invoke Despair. But that's so much less of a consideration than the 2 blue and Hidetsugu and Kairi. So I went to 4 Darkslick Shores and 4 Shipwreck Marsh. And I'm not 100% sure on this mana base, but it has been working pretty well for me. And I like 4 Darkslick Shores, 4 Blackcleave Cliffs, and then I like basically the full 16 of the good dual lands: Haunted Ridge, Blackcleave Cliffs, Shipwreck Marsh, 4 Xander's Lounge because everybody has that, and then I have like 4 total of the traditional pain lands. They suck, but you still kind of have to have them. Sideboard, I have Parasitic Grasp for the red deck matchups. Also comes in against certain other decks that have like human creatures. If you could get a Thalia with it, it's not cheap, but those decks are trying to put pressure on your life total, so it could be good. Duress is surprisingly not that good in standard, despite the number of big spells that people are casting these days. Oftentimes I'm just like, this Duress is just, I just don't want to side it in. But I think that it has text often enough that you want at least a couple of copies. I floundered around between Duress, Negate, and Disdainful Stroke a lot. I have Disdainful Stroke for the big green decks, right? So if somebody's going to cast Invasion of Zendikar, you want to be able to counter that. Those same people are typically casting spells along the lines of Vorinclex or Titan of Industry. So you want Disdainful Stroke. I wouldn't mind more Negate. I side the one Negate in a lot. Negate and Duress have a lot of tension between them. I have a hard time imagining a lot of times that I would want Duress over Negate, and yet I have 1 Negate and 2 Duress. I think like mana is part of the consideration. I do think that there's some tension between Disdainful Stroke and Negate. I only have 1 Abrade in my main deck, so I'm supplementing that with a 2nd Abrade in the sideboard. And then I have a bunch of sweepers, so I have a bunch. 1 Brotherhood's End and 1 Burn Down the House, which I'm happy with. But the card that is the best card in the sideboard is Siphon Insight. This card is so spectacular. people misidentified this as a bad Think Twice when it kind of first came out. It's like a great Think Twice. So this is a sideboard card. So you bring this in slow matchups. You bring it in Grixis Mirror, Rakdos, Quasi Mirror, Atraxa Reanimator decks. I bring it against white control, which their game plan is to grind you. And you can like grind them better because you have this insane card. Like imagine, just compare this to like a Spirited Companion. This is a Spirited Companion that gets there like the Eternal Wanderer sometimes. So it's this. I think this card is spectacular. I think it's just like one of the best cards you could play in Standard. It's not good in the main deck because you might run into mono red, but it's a very good card to play in general. The one card that I think that in the future I would consider playing, and I think is really good, is Lithomantic Barrage. So I played the Jeskai deck that I made a video about earlier this week, and like just a ladder match earlier today. My opponent was playing Mono Blue. They crushed me in game one. Like I think Mono Blue probably expects to crush these mid-range control decks a lot. But that deck just had 4 Lithomantic Barrage. Like the sideboard games are incredibly lopsided. You just cast it, it kills Tolarian Terror, right? Like you cannot counter it. So the ward, like you just don't even pay for ward. So I think Mono Blue might be a contender again. I think it's at least possible. They don't have a lot of the fancy things that some of the other colors have gotten, but they do have like 4 or 5 upgrades to their counterspells that are just a little bit more oomph than their counterspell had before. And I think like if you add all those things together, they might have an interesting position in the metagame. If Mono Blue is a thing, I would definitely want to play Lithomantic Barrage. I think that card is fantastic. But right now, I have a bunch of point removal, like Abrade, Parasitic Grasp. These cards can't even kill the creatures in Mono Blue. But I do have 4 Go for the Throat, so I'm a little okay on that side. I really like generally speaking, though, I do really like this sideboard. Duress, again, comes in sometimes. Parasitic Grasp is just great the times that you want it. And part of that is because this is not the kind of deck that's topping up on Invoke Despair. Like, you just want to, like, cast cards like Fable the Mirror Breaker and dig into Parasitic Grasp, or, like, cast Hidetsugu and Kairi and just dig into Parasitic Grasp. Keep yourself alive, keep your life total robust, and then put the nail in the coffin with some of your other powerful spells. So against my better judgment, we're going to play a best of 3 event. See how it goes after the jump. Okay, against my better judgment, we're going to play a best of 3 standard event with our Grixis deck. Looking forward to, I guess, not Invoke Despairing anybody, but instead just gaining 6 life off of Hidetsugu and Kairi. That's still, like, probably crushing people with Sheoldred. Okay, opponent goes first. That sucks. This hand is keepable, though. Looks like a mirror. I think I'm going to go Shivan Reef second turn. Oh, not a mirror. Arguable that we should have played Haunted Ridge or Shipwreck Marsh on the first turn, and then save Xander's Lunch for a cycle later. Alright, what's the opponent got? I think they're Jeskai Sunfall. Nope. Monastery Mentor. Interesting here. I could play Fable and then just set up for a Grixis command later. So we have the mana for the Grixis command. I think I'm going to let them just do their thing for a minute and then Grixis command them out. Let them just play a bunch of stuff out. Wedding announcement. No, thank you. So they get a prowess trigger and a 1/1 guy off of Wedding announcement, but not going to get the full boat out of it. Play this guy. So Bloodtithe Harvester has 3 power, so when we Grixis command, he won't die. That'll be awesome. Wedding announcement. Can't stop it this time. just an attack with it. I guess we'll take this one. I'm going to test spell the opponent on this. If they have a response card. Well, they don't have a response card. Sweet. Backup Grixis command. +2/+2 and kill all the little guys. Rah! 2 cards to 2. They've got a wedding announcement. We've got a Bloodtithe Harvester. We've got 2 wedding announcements. They're going to have 2 guys in a second. Still tiny. Our guy's 5'4". Ah! Chumpy bump. I'm going to hold this blood token because we're going to get like a free cycle off of Fable.
I'm not overconfident.
Main phase.
You're just underwhelming. This is what you get for hurting my people.
So the opponent's going to get 2 guys. They're going to be big-ish. No cards. Abrade is not the best. What do we have here? I'm going to ship this and this. The Grixis command to kill 2s and make our guy big. So he will live. Then we're going to smash this here, the Wandering Emperor. So they're going to have 1 3/3 token against our full Fable Boar. No cards in hand. I like them odds. So their 3/3 token can't beat our Fable combat. Battle. Is the opponent wondering about the ESPN checkmark? How about now? And no idea what this deck can have. I think it's just like Monastery Mentor, Prios Trigger stuff. Ooh, apparently it's just more land. Huh. Alright. Is it worth... Go for the throat? I don't think so. I'll ship this. Aha. Take that. Battle. The opponent's going to need to have like a pretty meaningful sweeper, or they're just dead to double reflection next turn. Fable of their own. Sure. Not going to be nearly good enough, I think. Copy this guy. Pop their Fable token. And attack with... this, and this. Make 3 treasures. They'll block one of the 2s. We're going to lose one of the 2s, but it doesn't matter. If they don't have a sweeper, they're going to take, I don't know, 400,000 damage next turn. Oh, could we have attacked them to death? Probably missed that. LOL. They discard Negate. And that's all she wrote. Guess we're too focused on the combo. Okay. This kills humans. I think Monastery Mentor is a human. This is good, I think. This is good. Sweepers are good. I think fast removal is good. Yeah, I don't want to be stuck countering nonsense garbage. They have, like, good spells, though. Not good enough for Duress. I'm, like, not a huge fan of Make Disappear. They're Their game is all on the battlefield. We're going to go like Grixis Command, burn down the house, Brotherhood's End, just sweep. We'll have a negate for their spells. I think that some version of this game is just going to be us letting them do what they want and then catching up with burn down the house, Brotherhood's End, etc. Can't really fight their enchantments. We don't have enough. We have like one Invoke Despair, and I'm just not going to Invoke Despair into their tokens. We want more than one negate. They have negate, so maybe we want Duress. Is there anything we don't want? I'm good with this for now. Hopefully they don't run us over. I think if we have like Abrade, cut down, we can prevent being run over, and then if we don't win this one, we can consider some additional removal. I'm kind of priced into this Xander's Lounge. I'll play Darkslick Shores on the second turn, unless I draw a Bladecoil Cliffs, in which case a well, you know what it is. The fast land of this one. I'd rather play this. I'm just gonna pop this guy right now so that they don't do anything horrible else. If they don't do Monastery Mentor, we'll just Corpse Appraiser them immediately. Fabulous. Almost made a mistake. So I'll Corpse Appraiser here, eat this guy, draw a card. We're actually going to let them get to the point where they have both of the 2/2s in play. Let's take another Corpse Appraiser. And then catch up with Grixis Command. That's the plan. I don't know. Is Hidetsugu better than Corpse Appraiser? Don't know that it is. I guess it casts Grixis Command for free. Reckoner Bankbuster. Kind of wish we had our Abrade back. I will Corpse Appraiser our Corpse Appraiser. Draw a card. What do I want here? I guess Fables are always good. I'm going to play this guy. So, presumably next turn they're going to have 2/2/2s. They have 3 cards. Hopefully not too many negates. Abrade number 2. Gotta say, I'm loving them using a full card on half a card. We need them to not have negate. Alright, bank busting now? Love it. Oh my gosh. Don't have Spell Pierce. No Spell Pierce. Oh! 2 treasures. Could have negate. Spend it out. Yeah! Oh boy! Destroy 2s, return 2. I'll take that Hidetsugu now. 2 cards versus 7 cards. They have a Bankbuster. We have a full board Bankbuster. Iconoclast. We need to take that guy out. 2 cards there. I think the game plan has to be to keep them from being able to go off laterally. They have one in the graveyard. I'll start with an Appraiser. It's hard to stop with the 1-mana open. Eat this. Draw. We can play a Fable. I think I take this Harvester. I think we want to be able to kill creatures. Only question is whether we go Fable first or Harvester first. So this guy, when you cast a non-creature spell, he makes a token. They have 2 cards. I'm going to play Fable. So, what's the worst that can happen? They make 3 1/1s. These guys don't have prowess. So, I'm going to save... go for the throat for Monastery Mentor. Fable, sure. Maybe I should just kill this before this gets out of here. There's like no clean attack here. If they crew, I'll just double block. It's a pretty bad attack. So, presumably they kill my Corpse Appraiser. Like, the 2/2 still eats all of these guys. Which I think is fine. Oh my god. I'm so rich. Battle. I'm gonna play this next turn a little greedy. They have one card. Maybe I shouldn't be greedy. Alright, I won't be greedy. Like, if that card is, you know, a counterspell, it could really punish me. I would rate this matchup as a blowout, just in case you were keeping track at home. Basically, every single thing we do is like hyper value, right? Like this is a full card for half a card. This is a full card for half a card. This is a full card for a third of a card. What are we gonna discard? I want all of these cards. Decline, murder, swing. Yeah, defenseless. Swing. Get this ready for the flipped Fable. And for my last trick, card advantage. Can't believe they sent their Bankbuster to its doom. It was not a good attack. I'd like to have that Bankbuster and its ability to draw cards right now. Pew pew. What's okay? Trade a treasure for a card any day. Oh, especially when it's that card. Bait? You got an answer? Nope. Take this guy. They're at 6. This will put them to Wandering Emperor. No fun. No fun.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Take
I am almost sad.
effectively 0, I guess. One of these. Guess we're back in the trading a treasure for a card business. That was a good card. Not going to be remotely good enough, but... Make a dude. You have to block. Yep. Killed your own Emperor. They're at 8.
Guards, to me.
What a blot down. So they're basically at 6 from Sheoldred. Can we get 6 in? We can. They have no cards. Card 0. So we can crew here and attack for 8. Pew pew. 1-0. All right, best of 3 event. I will play first. Keep. So this is a pretty crisp tapped land on the first turn, 2/3 set. We can kill whatever they play on the second turn with Bloodtithe Harvester and then follow up with Corpse Appraiser, if they play something, presumably. At which point we can, you know, cash in the blood token to draw a land for Sheoldred. All the good stuff. Basic swamp off of an obscure storefront. Interesting or no? We'll find out. Black-white. Darkslick Shores. We're not going to be able to play Sheoldred on time. This is going to come into play tapped on turn 4. Black and white. Fiend's Tower. So are they Esper control? Black-white control? Farmhand. Farmhand is kind of beneath my using a removal spell on something, but I want the extra card, I think. Yeah, let's try it. I really hate that. Like, they probably have Reckoner Bankbuster. Let's do this first. Our entire hand is insane, obviously, so... presumably the opponent can answer a Sheoldred if they can ossify a Bloodtithe Harvester. No! Graveyard 3 land. They have a 4 land. Guess they're gonna have a heck of a time with Sarah Paragon. If they block with Farmhand here, I might play Harvester. Otherwise, we will execute the combo. Super combo. Not acceptable. Go for the Throater land. I kind of don't need land. Let's say go for the Throat. Play this. We can get more land with Hidetsugu next turn, maybe. Unless they sweep us. They could easily sweep us here. But our good play is probably like Hidetsugu, crush with Reckoner Bankbuster. What do you got? Lauren. Oh. I don't like that. That's no fun. That's no fun. I'm gonna put Xander's. Oh, should I put Xander's Lodge on top? No. I'm gonna put Haunted Ridge on top. Am I? Yeah, I'll put Xander's Lodge on top in case we just want to use it to draw next turn. 3 cards to 3 cards. Our battlefield's dramatically better, but they could easily just have Farewell here. Or, you know, White Sun's Twilight. Do not have either of those. And this stinks of the Wandering Emperor, right? Smells of the Wandering Emperor. Lousy with the Wandering Emperor. There's the Wandering Emperor.
Feel the energy of battle, then guide it like water.
Take 3.
You are not much of a roadblock.
We'll eat Lauren. Presumably we eat Lauren. Just cycle. Cycle land. Guess another Xander's Lounge. We don't need more lands right now. Our battlefield's pretty good. Field of Ruin. They're basic checking us. Guess what, Kellen? We in fact have basic lands. Spirited Sea. You got it. They put a +1/+1 on this guy, presumably for defense. Lauren. Can't do this thing. And just the same functionality, right? Ooh, are we gonna steal a +1? It's gonna be pretty exciting. They're gonna put the +1 on Lauren. Oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you didn't. You did not did that. 2 cards to 3 cards. One of ours is a Xander's Lounge. It's like this now. Joy. Right, we definitely want to kill this. I guess this is worth it. Actually, I'll use this. Get like what's more likely to beat us, like a Bankbuster or like a random creature. This game is like remarkably competitive, given how many times we've 2-for-1'd them. I guess they 2-for-1'd us on Lauren. Yeah, Kaya.
I can't stand by when evil threatens the multiverse.
I'm gonna do this so that they miss. Alright, if we drawn like 3 cut downs, it's our worst card in this matchup. Mile. Come on, Fable! Told you. I'm gonna braid. We had to braid our own thing. Uh-oh. Not good. Not good. Don't have a play, please. Don't have a play, please. Let's see they have their best possible play. Joy.
Anyone who harms my people must contend.
Ugh. I thought we were gonna raffle stomp them after all those 2-for-1s. We just draw so many cut downs. Fable would dig us out. Reckoner Bankbuster would be pretty good. Pew pew! Take 2! Maybe they don't have an answer for Sheoldred. That'd be cool. A 2/2. Yeah, this stinks of. I have a 3rd Wandering Emperor. 4. And they have enough mana. Even if we drew a Make Disappear, they have enough mana. Do you have an answer? Like, we have so many powerful cards in our deck. We could, like, draw Grixis Command and Right the Oblivion. What was that play? They just trying to unlock? Did they? That was weird. I'm gonna get that back. Okay. Can I do anything more obnoxious than just getting 2 cards back? Just be happy getting 2 cards back? Alright. I will return 2 cards, and they can sacrifice a powerful card. Paulo Vitor Damadorosa says one of the worst habits that players have is to just not play out their lands. That would be a good example. If I played out my land, I would have been able to cast Corpse Appraiser last turn. So, definitely. Corpse Appraiser is going to need to do a little work here, buddy. So they're going to get 3 off that, go to 10. I don't plan to have this be alive at the end of the next turn, so let's see what we can do. Ambitious farming. Come on, Corpse Appraiser. We need you, buddy. I swing in. I cannot wait to remove the cutdowns from my deck. Do they not have Wedding Announcement? That's an excellent card. I need an answer for this guy, though. Take Lauren. That's an answer. And we're probably gonna mill our cutdown next turn. It'd be cute if we had Sheoldred, but I wanted to get rid of the Sarah Paragon. That was kind of problem guy number one. Vicious Farmhand. Farmhands do not beat our current position. I'm gonna be tempted to not discard cutdown because they might double block us. What's problematic? White Sun's Twilight is the card I don't want to see. Like almost any other sweeper, I don't care as much about. White Sun's Twilight would be bad for us. Draw your cards before Sheoldred hits. Gotcha. Man, they cantrip so many. Ooh, that's an excellent card. I will discard nothing. Like, how bad is it if you're the opponent? You're like, your opponent... It's like late in the game. They have 27 cards left in their deck. They have a Fable trigger, and they just choose not to do the deed. Pew pew. And just enough. 0 cards. They've got 5 cards. 8 life. These guys are not dead, but less great than they could be. I'm getting 2 life in response. It's so tense. What do we have in graveyard? What do I want to draw? Hidetsugu? All the Bankbusters in the world. Nobody to turn them on? I'm gonna have one guy to turn them on. Okay, this is problematic. Make attacking difficult. Alright, new plan. I think we just have to hope they don't beat us by drawing 100 cards a turn. And then we're gonna go for double Fable. That is the ace in the hole. Is it? We don't have a single creature in the graveyard. And they're not going to have... We're going to be the ones with all the 2-power creatures. Just have to, like, sit tight, I think. Hope this Make Disappear can have some text. I am skeptical about this card having any text, though. No attack. So we basically need 2 turns, or we need them to, I guess, not draw another Lauren. I think we've exiled 2 Laurens this game. Yeah, 2 Laurens down. So we need this to live and this to live. Probably have 2 more laydown arms left in their deck. I assume they've got like 4 laydown arms, 4 ossification. Ossification here. I mean, they must see the combo, right? Ossification in graveyard. A wedding announcement. Okay. Just need to not lose our guys in the next 1.5 turn cycles. You and you. Submit to joy. Joy, joy, joy. Attacking is dismal. Let's try one of these main phase. Embarrassing, I know. Less embarrassing. This is a lot less embarrassing than it was a second ago. Draw a ton in response. Alright, I'll play out the Darkslick Shores, which is going to potentially punish me if I draw a third Fable of the Mirror Breaker. These guys are tapped. No attacks. Okay. These guys are not going to trigger high enough. We just need to literally live through the next 1.5. Sarah Paragon. Alright, what's on this? Do they have like they have an ossification in their graveyard that they're gonna play back? I think that's probably just gaining 3. Like next turn has to be. It's important for us to not lose next turn. I don't know how I don't know how much I could stress that one. Losing next turn would be very bad. Ossification. What can you do? Reflection problems. Sheoldred. We picked the wrong one. They picked the wrong one. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 8 open. Access to an additional treasure off of this Reckoner Bankbuster, which they will obtain. I don't think we're going to lose to an Alpha Strike. We have no creatures. Oh no. I think that we live. That could have been really bad. That could have been really bad. But I think we're okay. They're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 30 power in play next turn. We might be stuck using this Grixis command, which would stink. All right. I don't think we're going to lose this turn. Maybe I should have sacrificed one of my extra reflections. Or whatever, goblin token, whatever it's called. That's an atrocious block. Like, they have to... Like, I don't know what they have, but it seems to me that the onus is, like, we're at 26 life with 2 cards in hand, including a pretty good point removal card. The onus is on them to try to win the game this turn. Right, so they're going to crusade up. They're going to draw 4 cards this turn. Maybe they can sweep us, sweep the leg. I don't think they have an ossification back. They do have an ossification back. That's terrible. Yeah, maybe ossification back beats us. I think not sure how the timing works on this. I think if we do, how do we enter full control? Oh, they had another ossification. Oh, that's bad. How do I enter full control? I think I know how to do it on my iPad. Let this resolve. I swear I need to understand how to enter full control. Where are my enter full control button? I say thinking because I'm trying to figure out how to. Is it this? Okay, I'm going to say stop on my end step. Maybe that'll help. No blocks. So I think like when it goes to my end step, there'll be a trigger on this that I can exploit. I don't know. If I lose because I didn't understand how to enter full control, that would be bad, but, you know, do what we can. I swear I know how to do it on my iPad. See, I literally have a stop on my end step. That's honestly nonsense. This is a terrible way to lose. Oh, it's stop on their end step? Oh, I guess I'm a moron. Alright, what can we draw? Is there anything we can draw? If I were in full control, that would have been fine. How do we do this? These guys all have 3. I'm annoyed. I'm just... Stop on their end step. I'm just so annoyed. Bankbuster speed us up. Alright, what's bad? We need to cut 7 cards. Make disappear with stains. It's so annoying. Go for the throat. Good. Abrade. Good. Siphon Insight. Could be good. Could not be good. Bloodtithe Harvester is just to get onto the battlefield. Get something onto the battlefield. Corpse Appraiser, we drew a bunch of them. They didn't win the game by themselves. To cut 4. I definitely want this. Like, I want the high-end stuff. I think the games are going to go long. Duress. I want these counters. These are good. These are good. I might be wrong. Stop on their end step, Michael J. So I'm going to play with the White Hot Fury of 1,000 Suns. White hot fury of 1,000 suns coming your way, friends. We were ahead at the beginning. Whatever. It's so stupid. It's like I still don't understand how to enter full control. How do I? Maybe I should have Googled it in the middle of a recording. Those things should go on the stack. When they go on the stack in response, I'll do the thing. We don't have a point removal card. Stroke's pretty good. Attack. Worst play they could have is Lauren. Lauren or Fable. Still ahead, right? Then we would Bloodtithe Harvester the Lauren and then Corpse Appraiser it. That's the worst play that they could make. Of course they have the best play. Of course they do. Sorry for being annoyed. Just obviously an annoying sequence. Right, so it's like add end of turn effects go on the stack. In response, I use my Fables. Ooh, that sucks. We need land, though. And arguably, we don't get the, these cards are both sweet. Corpse Appraiser and Disdainful Stroke. But maybe we don't do that. Farmhand. I'm not afraid of the farmhand. We have the best catch-up card. Ossify my Goblin token. Bankbuster. Sure. You got it. I'm gonna run you over. Kellen, I'm sorry that I'm so full of the white hot anger of 1,000 suns right now, but it was a dumb way to lose. Full card and 3 life for half a card. I'll take it all day. I'll take it. Take that. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Put back Brotherhood's End. I'll leave that on top, that's fine. Do we attack here? I think we do. Right, so we're gonna get 2 back, so we can cast either of our bomb cards. This game is over. Just give me the check mark already. What can they get back? Life. I guess they get back land. That'll put them to 12? Can we kill them? This is 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, well. Not getting that, buddy. Let's see here. Broke this. Should have turned on your Reckoner Bankbuster. Stand pat for game 3, I think. I don't know what they can draw. A sweeper. Wandering Emperor. That's good. Kill Hidetsugu.
Run away. You'll be safer.
So we know Darkslick Shores is on top of our deck.
You're done.
Farmhand, sure. Things I'm not afraid of. A farmhand. wasn't good. Make them eat the ambitious farmhand, I guess. We need to slow play this, unfortunately. I don't need all this mana. 6 on the battlefield, could be 8, depending on what they have. Yep.
Try not to miss me. Guards, to me.
Lauren. Eat our Bankbuster, I suppose. Sure. That's kind of unbeatable. LOL. Let's do it again. Was straight up unbeatable. Oh. Unbeatables. This is going to be horrible for them. Let's see here. We could just attack first.
Anyone who harms
First
my
strike.
people must contend with me. I have got new moves to teach you.
I'll play this. Moderately more unbeatable than a 2-for-1 3-3. Especially with Sarah Paragon in play. They have to. I mean, even if I don't know what card they could have, even if it's Farewell, we're ahead. What could it be? Ossification. Ossification's pretty cool, right? Because they can make their thing disappear, and then if they like sacrifice that to their whatever that the black-white card is that exiles things, then they get it back on their side. It's pretty good. Oh, sweet. Draw a card. Love drawing a card. Signs of Life. Creatures. Lauren again. Take out the Fable. Gain 2 life. I will Appraiser your Lauren with your sweet Sarah Paragon. Take that, that's pretty good. You can sacrifice your biggest guy, and I will lifelink up my team. Rah! All right, game 3. Okay, do we like anything different this game? We're going second. Make disappear better if you're going second. Harvester. Do I want any of this stuff? Kill a human. Is that important? Duress. Like, I don't really like Duress and stuff like that because they have the Rebuy Angels. I think I might want to make disappear Rebuy Angel. Like, I think my likelihood of playing a Harvester on turn 2 is kind of low. Let's try this. Maybe Harvester's great, I don't know. It does combo really well with Fable the Mirror Breaker. I just feel like I want answers to things like Wedding Announcement on the draw. Maybe I should add 3. Can't keep that. All right. 5. Joy for the opponent. What a dumb way to lose. I'm like, whatever. People have to mulligan, but game 1, I'm like embittered about it. Like super embittered because it was literally a dumb way to lose, in my opinion. I'm a little dubious about exposing my Reckoner Bankbuster to Lauren at this stage of the game. Rather just draw resources. Spirited Companion. And it's like not just that we mulligan to 5, which is obviously like stone cold terrible, but we also just drew all the Shivan Reefs. Like I'm being pecked to death by these buffoons. Alright, we got a non-card. This. So we need to get something to kind of equalize the battlefield. They're up 4 cards on us, and it's only turn 3. So that's a horrible place to be. I guess they're only up 3 cards because we cast a Siphon Insight. But they're up way too many cards for my liking. And they're not mana screwed, right? Like they've cast a Ambitious Farmhand and a Spirited Companion. What are you possibly wondering about? How badly you're going to beat poor old Michael J. Alright, we're going to go to 15 this turn. No ability to impact the battlefield yet. That card's terrible. Straight up squad of unplayables. Normally this card could be really powerful, right? Like we saw last game, it got us Sarah Paragon, which is great, and Wandering Emperor, which obviously is also a card that has some pretty serious text. Obviously you have Lauren. Why would you not have everything perfect? Five cards still. And our Abrade has to go over there. That's lame. And it has to, right? And take 4. Oh, maybe this is horrendous, right? He has Rebuy Angels. We need Brotherhood's End, Grixis Command, something like that. I mean, Grixis Command isn't even that good right here. It's only good. It's not, like, very good. But it's been. How horrible is this? Just basically dead. I'm not going to play this. 4 puts us at 5. There's no good way out of this. And I don't think just throwing away a card is great either. All right, time to mount our great comeback. For certain, they should not have done that. We are so far behind, right? Like, all they did was put us in a position where we're going to draw something awesome. So our deck is full of awesome cards. We just made the Grixis command that we haven't drawn yet good. And point removal on the Corpse Appraiser. I think I would do nothing. Like, just sit back and then wait for these Crusades to turn on. I mean, maybe they can kill us, right? If they, like, this is just bad. Like, what's the point of doing that? You're just giving us 3 life. You're going to attack for 2, but you gave us 3? Why would you even cast that if you're not going to attack? Okay. Justice. Justice. Hope, man. Hope is the most insidious. Like, right now I'm like, I'm on top of the world. Because I, you know, came back for a turn. They still have 6 cards in hand. That card is really good. We just don't lose this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Reckoner Bankbuster. That does not put us immediately. They're going to have 3 3/3s, though. I think maybe they just sit. We use a removal card on one of their 3/3s. Then play Bladecoil Serpent. Yeah, give me 3 life. I'll take it. I will take it. They still have 100 cards, but man, hope. Hope! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I played the wrong land. That's embarrassing. 5, 6. Played the wrong land. That's embarrassing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. This is by no means ESPN checkmark, but it could be worse. It could be worse. Like, I don't think they can kill us this turn. Although this does turn on to be a pretty big attacker. And where threat cut down doesn't do anything if these are active. 3 cards to 3. Their battlefield is clearly better, and ours is, they don't know that we have literally. Oh no!
I'll see this through to the end.
That's bad.
Just give up already.
This is just gonna kill us, maybe. Artifact. Okay, Signs of Life. Signs of Life, my friends. We might get a sweet turn. If we draw Burn Down the House. Oh my god, if we do this. That's a 10.
Your time's almost up.
is going to be tight. The opponent just doesn't care. Doesn't care. Do we have creatures in the graveyard that we can get? We have one. These are all online. 5 cards. Can you kill our Sheoldred? Hexproof. Right, how great would burn down the Hex be? No fun. Or not fun. Wouldn't have minded that a second ago. I'd probably get the other one. Oh, they don't have enough for the other one. Farmhand. This is pretty bad. How do we get through this? Alright. Grixis command. 2 and sacrifice your biggest guy, which they're just going to sacrifice this guy, I think. Yep. And then we're going to swing over here. Maybe they'll screw up. Play out this land. They can exile target creature or an enchantment. It is possible we're going to have to kill this ourselves. I don't think so. Doesn't have lifelink anymore. Spirited Companion, sure. Would we be in a way better spot if we had 2 more cards in hand right now? Probably. It's gonna stay the course. Nug us for 3. All right. Need to get rid of that somehow. We don't have Invoke Despair in our deck. I think this was probably worth it. What do I want? Fable, Hidetsugu, not that. I'm not playing it out because if we draw Fable, etc., etc. 14
That's
on
just
this.
a start.
They should Field of Ruin us, by the way. Field of Ruin would be pretty good. Yeah. I don't think we have any more basics. This was the tell. Three cards to 1. Ours is a ship. Come on. Alright. Best case scenario, that would have been a Bloodtithe Harvester, though, right? Garbage. This thing's going to kill us in 2 turns if we don't do something about it.
It's what you deserve.
That was... I think we were supposed to win game 1. I mean, that was just so stupid. I mean, we would have run them over in game 2, and then obviously we mulligan to 5 and they get their dream draw in game 3. Sorry, I don't usually get salty at all about arena games, but, like, I didn't lose to misplaying. I lost because I don't know, man. How do you even just not lose your tokens there, right? Like, shouldn't those abilities go on the stack, and then in response I can activate the other one at end of turn? Abilities have gone on the stack. Like, isn't that like an implication that I should have just won? I mean, yeah, I could have clicked the opponent's like end of turn instead of my own end of turn, but like that's not a function of me not knowing how to play, or like me, even if like I didn't even make a brain fart. I mean, I guess I kind of did, but it's like a user experience brain fart, not a I didn't play right brain fart. So, I still don't know how to be. On my iPad, I press my icon, right, and it says enter full control, and I don't know what the equivalent is because I have never tried it on my computer. That was a heartbreaker. And these events are so expensive. That's the thing. Like, they're hella expensive to play, and then like the returns are you have to win literally 4 matches even just to make your investment back. We're not going to get the play-in points now. I'm going to play this. We have lands for days, but we also have Fable and Mirrorbreaker. Blue, red, and red. I'm guessing this cut down is going to be fed to Fable and Mirrorbreaker, presuming it resolves. There is a Stormcarved Coast on the other side of the battlefield. What the heck is that? Baral and Kairi Zev. First Strike Menace. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, you may cast a spell with lesser mana value. Shares a card type from your hand, and you make a ridiculous. Dead. You know, there's always the Dave Price rule, which is, if you don't know what it does, just kill it. Actually, I probably should have played Fable there. That's real jumpy. I guess they play cards like that, so I want more of these. And then these I'm going to get rid of, presumably to Fable. Do. Two guys. I will attack you. Get the double block in. Single block. Like, you new here? Is this your first time? First time for everyone. So they're like mono new cards, right? Brawl, Kairi Zev, this invasion. Maybe they'll make like a bunch. Oh, this? What legends do they have? Oh, we know they have Brawl and Kairi Zev. That's a legend. Point removal this. Blue Sun's Twilight. That's yeah, I don't want this. Probably not this. Joy. I am going to murder this guy before they attack. So there, 3 cards are 2, but our 2 cards suck. But we're gonna draw a 3rd card in a second. Invasion of Kaldheim. So they're basically gonna have 6 cards or something now. What cards are these? Invasion of Tarkir, that's a good one. Island, that's a better one. Island Invasion, shoot our guy. That was a pretty good invasion of Kaldheim. That was pretty good. That was not. That was not. Give me something good. Like, we're so flooded. Huh. Alright, this at least kind of unfloods us. And also, I guess we have a machine gun play. That's good. I'll take a machine gun play. And maybe like we're gonna cast like a Invasion of Phyrexia for 1,000 mana again, and we can just catch him with a Make Disappear. That would make me happy. Raw and Carry Zev. Does that cost 3? That Invasion of Kaldheim was awesome. Alright, sub game, you know how you have like, or you know, our game is to win the game, but our sub game is going to be to make it so that they don't flip it. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. What do we have? Corpse Appraiser. That was awesome. I like that. They're at 18 though. We do not have a counter spell. So I'm going to do this now, an attack for 6. A couple of reasons. One of them is we have Sheoldred in play, so we got an extra blood. You know, worst case scenario, we can just dump the blood to Sheoldred to gain life. I think their like best play is some sort of sweeper card, and we have Grixis command to kind of make that less good for them. Arguably, we shouldn't have overextended, but we're still 2 cards to their 3, and Nahiri's Warcrafting. I will auto-pay, discard Darkslick Shores, gain 2, rebuy that next turn. 3 mana open. Invasion of Tarkir. So they're going to kill Reflection of Kiki-Jiki for sure. For sure. Yep. They're at 10. Can we kill them? I think we can. Blue open. Basic Island. Can you beat me with Basic Island? Alright, so if we go Grixis command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like put counters here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that, let me think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, right? Grixis command is 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're at 10. All right, I will Grixis command. 2 counters and return 2 creatures. Put it on this guy. Return 2 creatures. Play this guy. Animate. Ugh. Dear friends, I'm sorry if I seem salty. I really just don't mind losing usually, but like the way that we lost that last match was super annoying to me. If I like don't understand how to do anything, and like in the comments you're like, Michael J, that's not even how timing works. You can just be like, Michael J, that's not how timing works, and then I'll be like, oh, thanks for telling me. I'm a better person now. Duress. Huh. They have Island. I guess you can Duress a battle. Their battles were pretty good. I don't know if I want Brotherhood's End. I think I'll take Burn Down the House. This seems good. This seems good. This seems good, and these seem good. So, Cut Down. Cut Down sucks. It was It was good only because they double blocked with their knights, which makes no sense. So we need to cut 5. Go for the throat. I think Abrade is pretty mediocre. Who's the beat? I think we're the beatdown, so I don't want to take out Bloodtithe Harvester. Is Corpse Appraiser bad? That's actually interesting. I think. All right. Oh no, they have that carries Ev card. All right, Corpse Appraiser's okay. Maybe Duress is not good enough. I could buy Duress not being good enough. Go for the throat. Siphon Insight. I always want Siphon Insight. Like always. All right, we're actually do this. So I think they don't have a lot of creatures. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't wait to Siphon Insight some of their battles and then like cast a giant. I just like cast a giant Teferi battle, and then like I'll have all the 2/2 guys in the world. And they're gonna be like, "Oh no, that was mine. You stole my deck." And I'll be like, "I certainly did." Siphon Insight is gasoline. Untapped land would be cool, but Siphon Insight will get us a land drop if we need it. I would gladly take an untapped land. I think their deck is not fast, so it's not going to hurt us that bad. Untapped land. Untapped land. Let's go. The Stone Brain. Untapped land. Did we cut? Choose a card name. They're going to name Invoke Despair, for sure. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to name Invoke Despair. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? Oh, maybe they're naming Sheoldred. Sheoldred's good. Maybe I'll name Fable. We have two Fables. Okay. They did not. So we draw 2? They know it's our hand now? Do you use a card to like... I mean, it's not like they stupered us, right? Like, imagine they cast a stupor and then we just discarded 2 Fables. That would be gas. They used 4 mana over 2 turns to, like, not do that. It seems terrible. Like, Fable, does it have so much positional advantage that... I don't know. I'm asking, what is this? Into the fire deals 2 damage to each creature, planeswalker, and battle. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library. Yeah, I don't want that card. The card stains horrific to me. But I also don't want them to have that card. One of the advantages of Siphon Insight is it gives you additional hand size. So, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would have had 7 cards in hand. That's like we have an additional card in hand over here. I think that's one of the coolest things about the card. We get a land drop no matter what because of this. They know we have a negate, which is awesome. They're going to play in fear of our negate, hopefully. I would take a lot of things. The land would be good. One of their cool battles might be good. Or maybe they'll negate us back. You're going to negate our Siphon Insight? I wouldn't. That seems terrible to me. Oh, this is a powerful Magic the Gathering spell. I would gladly have the games be about that. So we're up 2 cards now, right? So Siphon Insight and their Stone Brain was -1 card. So I think that's about where we are. They have 52 cards in their library. We have 45, and then add 4 for the Fables that they took. I think that implies that we're up 3, so I guess we went second. I'll accept it. Cycling this was not as good as casting Siphon Insight, in my opinion. But Sushi, annoying. Sure. How do we want to approach Atsushi? I think we want to play this so that next turn when we play Sheoldred, Sheoldred will have mana open for Negate. I think I'm going to just... Well, Atsushi's protected by Plaza of Heroes right now, so if we could kill it with Grixis Command, that would be okay. I think we're going to take some Atsushi hits. I'm okay with that. It's just damage. So many Bankbusters. If we play this Bankbuster, how do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can make them discard most of their hand. What's in the graveyard? I think we just play this Bankbuster. If they like tap mana for, I don't know what they would tap mana for, like a Memory Deluge or something, then we can take a shot at Atsushi. We still have a lot of life. Bankbuster. Outbuster your bank. You need 4 total for protection. Yeah, so when they go to use the Bankbuster this turn is when we'll kill Atsushi. That's the plan, Stan. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go to 8 no matter what. We'll go to 8 from our turn, play a land. Let's do this. This gets us some additional mana. I'll hold. Should I hold off on this? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we don't want to overdraw too much. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 mana this turn. I think the right play is this guy. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're showing how much. So presumably we could do Bankbuster, Negate, and go for the Throwdown at the same turn. So I'm gonna do this. When they draw with Bankbuster, I'm going to kill Atsushi with Negate open. That's the plan. Swing for the fences. Like their big play is going to be like a bunch of treasures with Atsushi into a big battle. But I mean, they know we have a Negate, right? Like it is known Khaleesi. Do they know we have this go for the throat? Battle in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 left. We're so powerful. Pew! So they could Atsushi us. Maybe they get a thing that we care about. Maybe they don't. 2 lands. I like my chances. So next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Potentially 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can make them discard a lot of cards. I think that's going to be the plan. This only can make haste. It can't make discarding a card, but I think we'll be okay. I think we want them to do something, and then we'll just get them to tap some mana and then crush them with Bladecoil Serpent. One, two. Invasion of Tarkir. Don't care. Do your worst. I think it's almost worse for them that they know we have the negate. So one of the reasons why I wanted them to have the Invasion of Tarkir is that it just gives us something to do with Grixis command. Strangle. Sure. 4 cards. I think we might have to do a mutilation here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can only make them discard 3 right now. Gonna eat at sushi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These both come into play tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we draw an untapped land in the next turn cycle, it'll be pretty good. I don't think Make Disappear is very good right here. That's a good reload card. Crew up. Ataku. If they destroy a Reckoner Bankbuster, it's probably pretty good, actually. $12 all? I'm gonna get a draw out of this. I mean, clearly last turn they should not have drawn a Reckoner Bankbuster. That was the error. Let's see. Play this. That taps for black. And we can safely play this with Negate open. I like it. We get a blood. So we'll have 2 bloods for future Sheoldred. Although it might not come to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Untapped land is 10. That could do discard 3. Draw 1. Oh, it could be discard 4 and have an additional card in hand. Draw 1, haste in, which would be absolute insanity. If they want to do Invasion of Tarkir for 1,000,000 mana, obviously we're going to let them, and then we'll just beat them with Grixis command. That would be an acceptable play. Strangle. You got it. That's like a card for 3/4 of a card. One of the things that's great about removal exchanges is like all of our cards are like, this is a card in 3rd or something, the Heroes of Warcrafting. Done. Done, done, done. You can have that one. You're going to play creature and then not actually flip Invasion of Tarkir. That's an important spot. Might have been greedy there. Now we don't have Negate open. I think we're about to hit the ESPN check mark, friends. That is an untapped land. Black. 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 Blue. blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 8 now. 8 red. So 10 in pool. Discard 3. This card is so much better than Invoke Despair in the current meta. What did we make them discard? Negate. Oh man, we're so good at Magic. So good at Magic. All their negates. If that was Invoke Despair, they would have just negated it. Yeah, Bladecoil Serpent's just spectacular. I think Invoke Despair pretty much stinks right now. It's good in a very minor number of matchups, and it's very bad against the decks that you're bad against. Like, against mono red, like basically like kills a Phoenix chick and then draws 2 cards, and then you lose the next turn. That's basically what happens. All right, they are gonna have 1/1. I don't know how they could win. Like, these 2 cards have to be spectacular for them just not to lose to the battlefield. This card beats them against the current battlefield. All right, it's dead. We can easily go. Like, oh my god, this attack is horrible! You know we have a negate! Alright, like that. It's wholly unacceptable. Now you're just dead. I think that's ESPN checkmark. I don't know how you could win, right? Like, this is going to deal 4. You're going to go to 2. This is going to kill you. On draw step. That attack was dismal. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was going to do something cool. I can't do anything cool. Let's play this land. Like, Hidetsugu for the Rubbins. Pew! Pew! Can we go first? I think we lost the one that we went first and won the other 2. I don't remember though. And there's no way to find out. It's impossible. Opponent goes first. So we have interaction with Make Disappear going second into a really powerful set of cards. This is interesting. If you only have one fast land, I think typical play is to play Shipwreck Marsh first. But this is just going to come into play on tap now. Please play your Fable. I think they're playing the Sunfall deck that we were playing last week. I think that's what we're up against. So the Disruption Protocol. That's actually a perfect draw. Alright, so other possibilities, we play Sheoldred, probably straight into a point removal spell. Now we get a 2-for-1 here. The worst. We're going to cash this one in. The best. Worst followed by the best. And we could protocol us. See if we respond. So protocoling us is fine there. First of all, they can't cast the Wandering Emperor because they protocoled us, and then just gives us something to get back with the Grixis command later. Pew pew. This is so good. This is online. 2 lands ahead. We have another protocol. If they protocol against again, it's insane because then we just command back our 2 insane guys. Emperor, maybe? What do we have to worry about? Sunfall? Yeah, Sunfall would suck. Maybe we shouldn't have played into this. I think they're just going to counter it. Deluge. They need land. The best for us is if we have Make Disappear on our top 3 cards. I would like a Make Disappear on our top 3 cards. I will put back... This isn't very good. Put this back. So if they have a sweeper other than Sunfall, then Hidetsugu will cast this, brain them for 5, and then we'll also rebuy our creatures at the same time, which is about as great of a turn as you could have. But if it's Sunfall, then it just sucks. If it's Sunfall, I would actually consider just go for the throating my own Hidetsugu. Ooh, they're going to fires this reflection? They're going to fires the reflection. Can't believe it. Depop. Oh. We're going to miss because we draw from Hidetsugu. Lame. Lame. Also, why do they have Depop in their deck instead of the vastly superior Sunfall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 9. 9, 5, 4. We just like tap out for Sheoldred, right? I don't want to make that play. I'm gonna eat Sheoldred. That's alright. I feel like we should be further ahead for them missing land drops. Like now they're gonna have... If they have an Angel here, we will probably just Grixis command them. Like, probably cut down the token and then Grixis command them up. Wandering Emperor. The Depop was so interesting. Like, we should have had a little more. It's hard to be unhappy with our situation, but they're going to be on 7 land next turn, which means 2 Memory Deluge buybacks. And our hand is like Go for the Throat, Cut Down, which are both pretty bad. Abrade is okay, but the others are not good. Next turn, I think I'll go for a Grixis command, depending on what they do. We can get back these 2 creatures. Bankbuster, for sure. Are they 2... Only 1 Disruption Protocol down. They probably have a Disruption Protocol. Oh, 41 cards. They are favored to have a Disruption Protocol. Fable. Sure. They have 2 open, not including 2 blue. I like take them odds. Destroy an artifact. Unavoidable. Is it worth it? I guess the damage is worth it. Alright. Command. +2. Return 2 creatures. This is going to put them to pretty close to dead. They need to have something pretty good next turn. But, I mean, look, they have 7 mana, 2 Memory Deluge in their graveyard, Fable that's going to cycle through 2 terrible cards here. The likelihood that we can just beat them is low. I'm surprised they didn't cast that Fires for no value earlier in the game. I thought they were going to just Fires our Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Zergo. All right. That's pretty good. They have Disruption Protocol open. So what we want to do is draw... We want to draw... Make Disappear here. They're probably going to bring this back to hand, yeah. If we draw Make Disappear, I think we win. You're going to kill this now? Killing it now is respectable. Wait for us to draw. I mean, we're obviously going to draw. Right, so, ooh, Fable. Terrible, we win. Why would we play this way? We just straight up win the game. Okay, let's see here. They're at 6. We play this. Let's make no secret mana, right? Kill this. Do not understand what just happened. Like, why wouldn't you at least make me think that you didn't? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I just would have just stuck my neck out if... that was terribad. You are terribad. Cut down. But good against Fable. It's a good-ish against Fable. Abrade is fine. Disdainful Stroke is great. Negate is great. Siphon is best ever. Bladecoil is great. Burn down the house could be okay. Would I want any of these? I mean, I assume they have Wandering Emperor. I need to cut 3 cards. These cards are all good. Is Corpse Appraiser good? I feel like Corpse Appraiser doesn't have a lot of targets. It's like just a dude. Given that, maybe I'll just cut all these and play a Duress. Who knows? Who knows what the right thing to do is? It's a mystery. Duress is probably going to be okay. I'll keep this. So, we have a blue card and no blue land. They're going to go first. We're going to play Bloodtithe Harvester on turn 2, and then Fable on turn 3. Unless they do something that matters. Fires? Abrade. Aggressive. It's an aggressive Abrade, in my opinion. This is excellent. Go. That was a very excellent draw. Alright, if we cast Siphon Insight, which is what we're going to do, They might Wandering Empress here. If they Wandering Empress, that would suck. They might not. We don't have. If we had another blue in hand, I'll take it. They're not going to Wandering Empress because we stole their Wandering Emperor. I'm playing that so that next turn we can play like Fable with Negate open. Probably this turn we're just going to flashback Siphon Insight. We stole their Wandering Emperor. Did they draw Wandering Emperor? So if we take Deluge and cast it, then it's going to go into their graveyard, I think. So I don't want them to get that. I will happily play this. If they counter it, I'm going to let them. I don't want to fight over this right now. They have like a lot of good bomb cards. We're representing that we have something. I will not defend my Fable, but I'll mess up their Fable, right? Go figure. I'm doing this for the blood. The best is if they cast Flame Blessed Bolt here. Flame Blessed Bolt. Flame Blessed Bolt. Come on, you know you want to. Flame Blessed Bolt. I am the best.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Boom!
We've got the edge in this fight.
That was a killer. I mean, we're not even that far ahead, but that was just style points. I will play this. Attack here. Maybe we should have played Sheoldred first, because we're obviously... Maybe we're not even play Sheoldred. Maybe we just go wide on this. 15, 6, 2 turns. I'll play Sheoldred. Because I want to translate these stupid bloods into action. Wandering Emperor. Sure. Kill our Harvester.
And
No,
I will
a 2/2.
protect my people. We must protect the people.
That Flame Blessed Bolt exchange was the best. You are using a card. That was your last card? That was your last card. I'll block. Be honest with you, this is a block about to happen. I will block. You'll make a guy. I'll attack here. You'll lose your guy. I'll replay. I'll block.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Did you draw action? You drew very good action, in fact. So did we. Let's see here. How do we best mess them up? Like start this. They have to block. We'll make a 2/2.
May your blades
I'd actually rather have this than Sheoldred right now. We're going to translate this Haunted Ridge into action. So they're going to have one spell this turn. It might be Memory Deluge. I mean, if it's Sunfall, right, like the game is deuce.
guards to me.
Guards to me. I love this Jeskai deck. It's so good. Should have Sunfall, but
Guess
oh,
that's it then.
very respectable play. Let's see here. I will discard this. I think I'm gonna play Bloodtithe Harvester. What do we have? They have 2 toughness on this. I don't need this guy. He's lame. I'll do this first. If you get a point removal, I'll take it. Ooh, that's a heck of a point removal. How insane was that turn? Like, that was the stone diggityest turn I think I've ever taken. Like, we're gonna get a treasure to cast Make Disappear. It's insane. That was such a good turn. This is ESPN check mark. I will just attack with all these fellas and let God sort them out. Woo! That was a riot. I enjoyed that match muchly. Ask me if I liked it. I'll give you the smiley. I like that muchly. I liked it so much because I predicted the Flame Blast Bolt, and then I was just like, Flame Blast Bolt, Flame Blast Bolt, and then they cast it, and then we had Wandering Emperor, and then we like basically countered the Flame Blast Bolt, added a loyalty to Wandering Emperor, put them at like 1 or 2 cards in hand versus our insane battlefield position. It was like everything you could ever want in chanting the words Flame Blast Bolt, I suppose. We get to play first. So I'm going to keep this because Fable's going to fix our hand. We have lands and spells. Fable's going to fix our hand. This is going to help fix our hand. Our opponent's down 0.25 cards already. Kill. The worst is if they have Corpse Appraiser here, we'll be slightly down, which will be super annoying. Oh, what is this? What are you gonna do? Them's just the cards that people play. What is this deck? Get rid of this. I actually want the other land. Why didn't you give me the option of getting rid of the cut down deck? Do you have a go for the throw? Probably. Oh, you don't have it yet. Gross. That is gross. Uh-oh. So I think our keep was right. It's like Fable like just totally fixed our hand and then we just drew infinitely more lands. Yeah, this. And I would be glad to like discard the cut down. We just can't defend it. 3 cards to 2, but our card is cut down. They're drawing. Yeah, we need to draw like Hidetsugu and Kairi or something. What is their deck? Weirdo stuff. Joy. Joy, joy, joy. 4 cards to 2. Cut down versus the world, apparently. At least this cut down has text now. What do we want? Does anything get us out of this? Hidetsugu and Kairi is the best thing for us, I think. That has text. If they let me fight, I'm gonna fight, I think. We can use this on the Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Oh boy, they're at Reanimator. If they have it, they have it. Wait, were we supposed to know they were Reanimator on account of them having Invasion of Amonkhet? I guess their mana implies something along those lines. That was a good draw. Alright. Down a card. Down 7 life. They pitch a land. So 2 cards to 1. They're about to go to 3 cards. And Sheoldred's Edict. Like, we are dramatically not that far behind for how far behind we could have been. One card to 1. I don't think their deck has Make Disappear. If it has Make Disappear, I'm going to be an idiot. Decline. That card is good. Corpse Appraiser. Oh! Oh my god, if this Corpse Appraiser lives... If this Corpse Appraiser lives... Give me this. Give me this. Give me, oh, so greedy. How greedy could we have been? Wait, their deck had Make Disappear. Just didn't have it at the time. Oh man, if this Corpse Appraiser lives... We took out Atraxa. That's like half the battle right there. Yeah, they'll get our Sheoldred. Oh, they're going to get a removal spell for Corpse Appraiser, I guess. This is so tight. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, they're gonna get our Sheoldred probably, right? Corpse Appraiser, Bloodtithe Harvester. I'm going to take their Corpse Appraiser. If they take our Sheoldred, we'll just kill it. I'm okay with that. So tight. So there's just Harvesters, one for him and one for me. Of Amonkhet, sure. Resolve. Cruelty of Gix. No, Gix's Command. That's the one in our deck. They have Cruelty of Gix. I will take whatever the Gix card is that we have at 5. Or, oh no. Oh no. Their turn was fantacular. That is not what we needed. This is gonna bury us. Yep. Did we screw up by, like, playing that Fable the Mirror Breaker into the Make Disappear? If we had waited a turn, would we have won? Yeah, our chances of winning this game are pretty low at this point. Solve. I think they should crew this and then do a poly attack. Why did you not crew? Not crewing is just bad. Go. We have another Cruels. Oh, I guess they have Invasion. I think this card stinks in this matchup. Did I play for it on turn 2? I did. Alright, this is good. This is good, this is good. Cut down has text. I hate to cut it. This is great. This is fantastic. I don't... Like, Invoke isn't even good. Like, when do I want Invoke? Cut 8. I think I'm going to cut down. Abrade is pretty good if I'm going to cut down. I have too many good cards. Alright. If there's a matchup where this is good, this is the matchup. So, this is great. Oh, this stinks. I had that in my hand at the end of the game and I lost. That's good. That's good. These guys are great. I think I'm going to do this. If I do that, do I want Make Disappear in my deck? I guess we'll never know because I'm going to play this way. I don't mind losing that game, right? Like, we just drew better. You know, I made some decisions early that caused me to have a certain outcome. I'm going to try to play Fable on turn 3. Oh, maybe I should have played Darkslick Shores on turn 1. That's possible. Bankbuster, sure. I'll take your other Bankbuster. That'll be great for me. I'm Team Bankbuster. So we're ahead right now. They could play Fable back. Cut down. Acceptable. Go for the throat. I'm going to pitch Darkslick Shores. Oh, of course, I'll do another Darkslick Shores. And then I will cast this guy. We're like in a pretty good card advantage position, I think. This is going to become a threat, and then we can cast multiple spells per turn. If they, like, what their best play is like a Sheoldred or something. Yeah, I don't care about that right now. That just trades. So it's like a third of a card for like 75% of a card. It's an interesting question if we should use our Abrade on this Reckoner Bankbuster. I think like there's no way to prevent them from... Like I don't want to just do it for one counter. I think like this is going to be more valuable to some future Reckoner Bankbuster, or maybe even like a Corpse Appraiser or something. It happened. It's a thing that happened. Fable. First, I'm going to cast this. Why did I cast that? Ooh, Stormcarved Coast. Why did I cast that first? Because if I did it the other way, then they could potentially make disappear my Siphon Insight, which is probably not a great play, but it's better to take that option away from them. So I'm going to do this now. Cast this guy. So the way that this is set up, we can draw a card from this Reckoner Bankbuster, make a pilot, and then crew and block with this one if it comes up. We probably wouldn't do that, but we could. Like, we're at 20 life, so there's a lot of things that we might rather do. They did not discard Atraxa. They discarded 2 lands. Yep. You got it. Do I want to make the pilot now? Yeah, I think I'll make the pilot. Are there creatures anywhere? There's a Bloodtithe Harvester. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 mana. This 2 is committed. 2, 4. I think we'll play this and see what happens. This is very likely to resolve. Counterspell, please. Notably, we put a Corpse Appraiser in our graveyard. I will play Shivan Reef now so that we can 2-spell if need be. I think... Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not attacking. I'll let them play aggressive. So we can potentially Grixis command and get back 2 sweet things. Can't complain about that. Crew. If they kill this, we can crew the other one with it. He did not kill it. You can have that. Anything? This would be a good time for an Abrade. Four cards to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. All right, we should win this game. If we don't, probably because I donk. This Bloodtithe Harvester can kill pretty big things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 here or 8 here. Stroke. If they kill this, I'll draw in response, probably. Oh, we're at 16. Maybe we don't. It's a pretty bad play. Was a pretty bad play. Yeah, like they already had that. What was the deal? Do they have Atraxa with counterspell backup? Nope. That's a good card. Attack here. Yeah, this is perfect. They have 2 cards to our 5. Take 1. This is going to catch them up, though. Okay. I think we... We're definitely getting 2 guys back. And then... make this guy burly. Burl it up. They have a counter. It's a good card to counter. If you have a counter, you definitely cast it here. I will pay. They cannot crew. So the dangerous play here is just hard cast Atraxa. We have an answer and go for the thrower. Or they can go discard Atraxa to blood, reanimate. That's fine. I mean, it's as fine as these things can be, right? Like, it's as fine as opponent drawing 7 cards can be. What do they draw? Some cards. That one's okay. Crew attack. That's pretty good. Get rid of this nonsense. I would like a negate. I only have 1. Maybe the Duress. Ooh, excellent card. We'll play your Storm Carved Coast. They'll play this Amonkhet thing and we'll discard Blackcleave Cliffs. It's okay. We can counterspell more powerful cards like that. Play this. Played the wrong one. Minor 2 for 1. Yep, it's fine. I really feel like we should have run away with this one. We were so far ahead, but we're only like a little ahead. Corpse Appraiser is pretty good. Fable is pretty good. I'll take Corpse Appraiser. Ooh, that's very good. Hold this Blackcleave Cliffs because in case they cast the Invasion of Amonkhet, then we have something good to discard. Poopsitaria. Let's see here. One, two, three, four. Attacking is terrible, right? They crew. Next turn we can attack. Take 2! So we're gonna play like 3 spells this turn, probably. Their Atraxa was remarkably not that backbreaking. I'll let that resolve. 2 excellent cards. Well, like 1 very good card and 1 like super sweet card. Yep, we'll discard a Blackcleave Cliffs. And we lost our Bladecoil Serpent. I need to deal with this guy. We even have a Negate backup. I think I have officially decided that Siphon Insight is the best card in this matchup. I don't think it's close. Not remotely close. Not remotely close. Play this. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back. Let's see what we're working with here. Whatever you thought you were going to get out of it with, I'm taking it away. So, Fable and Amonkhet. 1, 2, 3, 4 left. No attack. And I will play this guy. So they cannot use their Bankbuster this turn. Man, Siphon Insight is so good. I recommend playing Siphon Insight, and I recommend drawing it. If they cast Amonkhet, I'm going to discard Bloodtithe Harvester. Don't think that they can beat us if we don't just throw away our Negate on a random 2-for-1. We have Atraxa in play. Oh, that does something. Sure. This is exciting. Atraxa's up. So, of course, we're going to draw, like, 4 cards this turn cycle, so hopefully we'll be able to deal with that Atraxa. Oh, they have a Go for the Throat right here. They should cast it, in my opinion. This is super exciting. Hidetsugu and Kairi. Like, we just... how many Go for the Throats do we have left is actually the question. 1, 2, 3... We only have 1 left in our deck. So... do we offer an Atraxa trade? Is actually... that's what we should do. Attack. If they take the trade, that's what we want. That's what we signed up for. So we'll just eat both of their Atraxas here, and hopefully draw like a Negate type card. We would have gotten the Go for the Throat anyway. Okay, we're down to only 16 cards in our library. That could be 13. So we'll be a little bit careful. Ugh. Both of these cards are so good. Alright, I'm going to take the Abrade so that we can attack. So when they cast the Amonkhet card this turn, I'm going to discard Bloodtithe Harvester. And then I think all of them. What the? We did not take Disdainful Stroke. Great. Yep. They're at 19 because we gave them 7 life. LOL. They only have 11 cards in their library. They have fewer than us, and they're about to have 9 cards. Counterspell? Not what we needed. All in. So they're gonna, if they're smart, they'll crew. Respond with one of these. So that makes it so that they have 2 fewer blockers. They did not draw in response. They're going to take 12. We know they have a bunch of powerful cards in hand, so... let's do some damage. Putting Hidetsugu and Kairi on top of our library, so in case they kill this one, they'll take 5. Is that even good thinking? I don't know. It's probably wrong. Discard Shivan Reef. Seven cards to 4 cards. Harvester. Oh, they're gonna try to kill our Hidetsugu and Kairi. Okay, we have 6 cards, they have 4 cards. We have 4 cards. They have 4 cards. Do we have a sweeper in our deck still? Grixis command. So, I think we had a 75% chance of winning that turn. Exciting match. Exciting match. What's good? Invoke Despair. Burn down the house is an additional threat. I think if I just have more Siphon Insights, I'd be happy with. So, real interesting, the Invasion of Amonkhet plus Atraxa puts both of us in a position where we could deck. I'll keep this. Keep 7. So, we have action on turn 2, if we need it. I think I'm going to lead on Haunted Bridge. Or not Haunted Bridge. Ooh. Interesting. That changes stuff a lot, right? So, we got our 4th land, and we can play untapped, untapped, untapped. They'll take Abrade or go for the throat, depending on if they have a Reckoner Bankbuster or a creature. So I guess they have Reckoner Bankbuster. Blackcleave. I'm sure they're going to play Bankbuster here. Did they show us the Screen Black land before? Fable. Is what it is. Oh man, we are in danger of flooding out, and they have the best anti-flood. I feel like we're gonna need a counterspell next turn, and that we could get snowballed here. All right. Clearly we can get snowballed here. Part of the problem is we're gonna have to play at sorcery speed. Invasion of Amonkhet. I think we're gonna look an attack. Shores. This is so dangerous. Actually, do we have creatures in our graveyard? Not yet. Oof, this is dangerous. So they could just attack here to try to get Atraxa. So we're going to get an Atraxa. And then, if we're lucky, they'll kill Hidetsugu and Kairi immediately with the powerful Atraxa type card. And then we will sweep them back. If we're lucky, that's what's going to happen. Weird, a second ago we were in danger of flooding, and now we know that there's not land on top of our deck. Just go for the throat right now. Shoot! Oh no. Oh no. That was bad. That was bad. I think we're cooked. I think we are cooked. Oh, they have the reflection combo. And a go for this. Ooh. Ugh. Not that this matters so much. Like, they could Sheoldred Edict us or something, which is pretty bad right here. They played that turn really well, just taking nothing away from them. So look at how far ahead of us they are. 1 card in hand versus 4. This is humiliating. 3 Corpse Appraisers? I think we have like a 0% chance of winning. Why would you even cycle as Corpse Appraiser? Like, they're all really good in this situation. I don't think we have the card we need to not lose here. Yeah. That's going to be another Atraxa. Yep. Don't. I mean, if we just raw dog Grixis command, we don't lose on the spot. But they just drew 5 cards, including Invasion Amonkhet. This card is really strong. And there's the Grixis command we needed. Is there anything else we can do to get out of this? I don't think so. They have like a million cards in hand. We just drew land. Good game. Okay, well, if my opinion about best of 3 events was where it was before, it has not changed. I really dislike how we lost. I'm not going to get over this soon. What did we get? Like 600 gems? It cost 750 gems. And like 2 packs? It's just... Like, the return is so bad. Like, I don't know why anyone would play these. All right, yeah, sure. Twist my arm. I'll play another one. I'll play another one tomorrow or something, and maybe we'll do better. The redemption arc might continue. I'm sorry. Normally, I'm much more positive. I just super disliked how we lost round 2. We would have not won the play-in points anyway. The thing that is cool is that you get 4 play-in points and 1,000 gems if you win. But you know, not winning sucked, and it was just because of input on the machine. I think that last match was pretty cool. I do like how well we showed off the power of Siphon Insight. That was really exciting. But our opponent just absolutely dominated us in game 3, and I'm not sure what we could have done about it. They drew 3 Fable the Mirror Breaker in the first 5 turns on the play. So 1 Fable of the Mirror Breaker is often enough to win a match. They drew 3, so they absolutely snowballed us. And then our out turn was put Grixis command on top of our library with the Hidetsugu and Kairi turn when the game was still up in the air. And then they played Invasion of Amonkhet to mill us, which was an expert play before killing our Hidetsugu and Kairi. If the Hidetsugu and Kairi had been able to cast the Grixis command, I think we would have at least been in the game. But as it was, they were, 20 cards ahead of us or something. It was absolutely ridiculous. Sorry if I was a little negative in this one. I hope you still liked it. I'm going to continue to make these videos, and I'll try another best of 3 event. Although I'll tell you, I'm not super happy with how this one went. If you liked it, like, subscribe, send a comment. People are telling me that the algorithm gods like a comment, so you do that. And support the nice people at Cool Stuff Inc. who support me. They let me write about pre-modern, which is great. 5% off anything at Cool Stuff Inc. if you use the promo code Flores, Flores. See you next time.